I'm here fighting for the Cuban rights, for the human right in Cuba.
Hundreds of Cuban Americans right here in Southwest Florida,
Liberty, freedom,
are doing what thousands of people just 100 miles away could never do before.
human rights. All we're asking for is human rights for Cuba.
For 60 years, desperate Cubans have risked their lives to get out of the communist country.
Cubans died crossing the sea.
And those still on the island want a government that actually cares about the people.
And they have no medicine, they have no food, and they're just humans.
Now they're looking to us for support.
People in Cuba right now are flying the American flag.
Protests for changing Cuba are now impacting our community for a fourth night in a row. Hundreds of Cuban Americans gathered in Cape Coral and Naples chanting Cuba Libre, demanding a free Cuba. Thank you for counting on NBC2. I'm Peter Bush.
And I'm Brenna Wyke. NBC2 has been taking you live to the protests around our area and the state since they erupted on Sunday night. Our team is monitoring the situation from Naples to Cape Coral. First, let's check in with NBC2's Gage Goulding live in downtown Fort Myers with a group that started in the Cape tonight.
Yeah, Peter, Brenna, that group, they started in Cape Coral and then they kind of migrated over here to downtown Fort Myers, where they continued on for at least an hour or two chanting and being together. At one point, even kneeling here on the sidewalk behind me and praying. But we'll take a look over here. Some still straggling behind and cleaning up. There was big speakers set up on this truck over here. And many of these people, these demonstrators here tonight, taking this battle personally. They're fighting not only for Cuba, but they're fighting for the ones that they love.
Liberty, freedom,
That's what the fight is for.
human rights. All we're asking for is human rights for Cuba.
Maria Davila organized tonight's protest in Cape Coral in Fort Myers. Her godson is still in Cuba tonight. They're going on a week without speaking to each other.
I haven't been able to make any type of communication for many days. I pray to God that they're okay.
It's the story for so many people here tonight. Mila Estrella Perez immigrated to the U.S. in 1994, leaving behind her family. Her daughter translating her words for us.
That her heart aches for what's happening to them right now.
Roberto Mena's been in the U.S. since the 80s. He, too, is now worried about his family in Cuba that he can't reach.
I have a sister, I have brothers, I have my grandma is in Cuba, I have all my family in Cuba.
They're concerned if the U.S. doesn't step up to help, the fall of Cuba's government could impact much of Latin America. That's why their family and so many Cubans desperately want the government to take action.
People in Cuba right now are flying the American flag.
This isn't a war, but this is a battle that we have to fight.
It's a fight for freedom, a fight for family, and a fight for all.
Justice and liberty for all means for all. It doesn't mean justice and liberty for all. It doesn't say except Cuba.
Yeah, the good thing to share here from both of these protests is that they were peaceful. Both of them much less disruptive from what we saw last night. Most of those people that took place tonight that were taking part of these protests tonight were the same ones that brought traffic to a standstill on I-75 last night. Peter?
Gage, Fort Myers Police, Cape Coral Police, they've been watching these demonstrations closely, especially after what happened last night. What'd they say about the crowds today?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We saw officers here in downtown Fort Myers. Prior to that, we saw officers out in Cape Coral. And both departments tell me that it's for everybody's safety. The protesters' safety, the safety of people in the area, businesses, people staying in the hotel even. They want to make sure everybody's safe. KPD saying that there is a clear, indefinite difference between peaceful protesting like we saw tonight, like we showed you in those pictures just moments ago, and rioting. The latter, they say, when riots start and when laws are broken, that's when officers will get involved. None of that happening here tonight.
Gage Goulding live in downtown Fort Myers. Thanks, Gage.